Hello and welcome to the Noted Podcast. I am your host Daniel and your other host Eric.
Hello.
And just kind of like how we talked about the other day, we're not doing a standard episode this week. We're going to do more of kind of a looser, what we like to call quote unquote crack hours. So we didn't watch a movie. We don't.
Yeah.
We're not going to go over one. But we are going to stay in this similar vein where today we're going to be talking about different, whatever TV shows or movies we're into right now, what has caught our fancy, and then just discuss that type of stuff, because we're always here to talk about movies and TV shows. And that's why you're here. That's why I'm here. So let's get into it.
Yeah.
So I'll just start off. The TV show I'm into right now, I just got into the second season, is Russian Doll on Netflix. I don't know if it's a Netflix original. I think it is.
Does it have a second season?
Yeah, the second season just came out.
Oh, hot damn.
Yeah, I'm on like episode 3 of the second season, so I'm not going to get too much into that, but it sounds like you've only seen the first season then?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I just watched it the other day, and So if you're unaware, Russian Doll is a show on Netflix, pretty much Groundhog Day, but reimagined. And what I like about this, too, is it's a really unique take on Groundhog Day, where normally Groundhog Day is like 24 hours, and then repeat, 24 hours, then repeat, where this was like, they could only make it like 2 days out, but there was many times where they like made it multiple days out.
And it wasn't every time that she died, it made her reset the day.
Yeah, when she dies, she goes back to her birthday in a bathroom.
Yeah.
And
staring at herself in the mirror.
It's such a funny show, and it's weird too.
Yeah.
And it's like I like that take on kind of a Groundhog reoccurring day trapped in that. It's probably, I think, my favorite take on it. Maybe close second would be Palm Springs, which is another hilarious Groundhog Day type movie.
Yeah, I think that I like Palm Springs more than I like Russian Doll. Only because I like the main actress more in Palm Springs.
Main actor or main actress?
Main actress.
I'm trying to think who the main actress was.
Ted's wife.
Ted's wife. Yeah. That's such a good dynamic duo.
Mm-hmm.
Andy Samberg's is the main character, and then the main actress is
Christine Milioti. English.
I haven't seen her in a lot.
She's in
to be honest.
I watched this HBO show recently. It was like, I don't know, probably a couple months ago. It was called My Type of Love or something like that. Is a really like sci-fi weird one where there's like a big software developer that's her husband, and he creates a chip that allows married people to communicate with each other and like being able to like read each other's vitals and stuff like that. And so like they can make everything like they are a cohesive unit because they are now pretty much the same person. Well, he installs this chip into her with no consent, and she doesn't know that until one day she
and it's her husband.
Yeah, until one day she figures out that he did that. And then it's just her like trying to get back at him and all that stuff. It's on HBO. It's really funny. I love it.
I'll have to check that out.
It's a good
honestly, that sounds like my living fucking nightmare, dude.
Right?
Like, I don't want anyone knowing that much intimate details about me at all times, bro. Like, come on. Like, that is codependency to a whole nother level. Ugh. I'll have to check that out. What's it called?
I'm looking it up right now. I'll let you know.
Okay. Another thing I've been watching recently while you look that up is I don't know how many anime viewers we have, but the new season.
It's called Made for Love.
Made for Love. Okay, I'll check it out. The new season of My Hero, not My Hero. The new season of The Rising of the Shield Hero.
Yeah.
Just came out, and they're like on episode 5 of the second season, which I So I haven't watched much of the second season yet. I'm only on episode like 3, but I am so excited for it. The first season was so good. It's a classic like isekai anime. Where you're I don't have you
Yeah,
seen it?
yeah, I've seen the first couple of episodes.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Where
your brother showed it to me.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Yeah, he gets isekai where you get taken out of this world, put in a fantasy world. And he's like your classic like otaku, just reads lots of comics, reads lots of manga, and kind of sticks to himself. And then he gets thrown into
Sheltered.
this, yeah, gets thrown into this new world where he's like excited to like be a hero, excited to help
Adventure
them.
awaits.
Yeah, because he gets summoned and they're like, "You are a hero," and there's 4 heroes: a sword, shield, spear, and bow. But the other ones are all loved except the shield. Everyone hates the shield hero, and so he immediately gets set like on the back foot. Like no one wants to help him. He gets framed for being a rapist within like 2 episodes.
Hot damn.
Loses all of his money. And so, but because he's one of the legendary heroes, they keep him around, but they just make it as hard on him to do anything at all times, pretty much.
Yeah.
And eventually he clears his name, and the queen shows up and fixes it all. But it's really sad at first, but also like really funny, and it's great great like
World building.
universe and world building, character building.
Yeah.
It's just mwah,
That's
phenomenal
dope. That
writing.
is dope.
And so the second season I am not too far into, but I'm enjoying it so far. I'm also just been waiting for that show to come out like with a new season forever.
Oh yeah, dude. I'm in the same boat. There's this anime that I actually went and saw a movie, like a prequel movie for it. It's
Mm-hmm.
called Jujutsu Kaisen.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched that anime like I don't know, maybe like half a year ago, if that, like within a half a year ago, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is amazing!" And then I watched the prequel to it, and I was like, "When's the next season coming out?" And it doesn't even have a set release date yet, and I was like,
Oh,
"No!" It makes me want to cry because it's so good, dude. It's one of my
dude,
favorites.
that is the worst
Yeah,
when you get into something like a new anime or a new TV show
and
you
you have to
watch it,
wait.
and you not just have to wait, but you have to wait pretty like you get in it at like ground one. Like
Yeah.
so you have to and you finish it almost immediately after it releases, and so then you have to wait forever. I almost
It's so good.
I almost kind of prefer getting into TV shows late. I'm not gonna lie.
Well,
Like
that's
don't
just
like
because we are a part of binge culture. So,
yeah
okay, we
yeah
have no patience. We're millennials.
like
No, excuse me. We're not
yeah
millennials. I
we're
apologize.
Zoomers.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Like, would it have been cool to be a part of the Office hype when it was coming out? Yes, but also everyone else had to deal with the emotional backlash of waiting every season. I watched 9 seasons in 2 months.
That's funny. I
I
feel
feel like I
that.
won that one.
I when I talk about the magicians all the time, and
Mm-hmm.
I watched that show. I would wait for the next season to come out onto Netflix. So I was always like a season behind almost, but when that
Yeah.
season came out, I would just binge the whole thing. And so yeah, it's I've seen that show so many times. Um, but yeah, dude, I also started watching this other show recently. It's like it just came out like the 28th of April. It's called Under the Banner of Heaven. Super good. Has Andrew
Hmm.
Garfield in it.
Oh, you were talking about that the other day.
I was, dude. It's a good one. I'm really excited for the next episodes to come out. It's super good.
Oh, so it's releasing right now.
Yeah, the first 2 episodes released on the 28th, and I'm
I
assuming
didn't.
next week they'll come out like maybe with 2 more or something. I don't know.
Is this the first time that they've done like that Andrew Garfield's been in a TV show.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but this new show is like he is main character kind of thing. So it's really, really, really good. If you're into like murder mystery thrillers, it's a super good one.
Ooh yeah. I'll have to check that out. A show I just finished recently that I really like that you introduced me to was the oh wow, why am I blanking? Righteous Gemstones. That I
You're
loved
welcome.
that one. The second season I don't think was as good as the first season,
Yeah.
but it was still hilarious.
I didn't watch the second season cuz I was like, eh. I felt like the first season was it, you know?
Mm-hmm. I just feel like the second season, I don't know, the first season does such a good job of having like a fluid, like, you know what's gonna happen from like, not what's gonna happen exactly, but like
Yeah,
it's
predictable.
pretty obvious where the story is going.
Yeah.
Where the second season I feel is just uber convoluted. I will say I did really enjoy like a lot of the backstory we got on Eli. We got a lot of that, and then we got to see a little bit on Baby Billy. But honestly, Baby Billy is
Baby Billy.
he's infuriating.
Yeah.
I don't know. It felt a little less
That whole
streamlined.
show is infuriating.
Oh, 100%. They're meant to be infuriating. All of them. I will say, okay, so in the second season, my favorite character, Adam Devine's character,
Yeah.
Calvin,
Yeah.
he starts what's called the God Squad because he's trying to
Oh,
branch out.
goodness.
He's trying to branch out from being just a youth pastor,
Yeah.
like because he, youth pastors don't get taken seriously,
Yes.
and so he's trying to branch out from that, and he starts what's called the God Squad, and it's a group of like 30 like huge bodybuilders who all live in his backyard in Ertz and like are like eating healthy and working out and studying the Bible.
Oh my
And they
goodness.
travel around in like buses that are just two big biceps, and they're constantly wearing like, it look
Togas.
no, toga-esque stuff, yeah. It's so weird, but it's so funny. And like whenever someone like they have like there's like a challenge or a fight, they like beat each other. They beat like their chest like in an X formation, like with arms crossed.
Oh goodness.
They beat their chest like dum, 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 dum. It's so funny.
And that's
I
why I
think
quit watching that show.
it became too much.
Yeah, and I lost interest after watching the first season.
Another, what was it? I'm trying to remember the show. I mean, obviously the show we're finishing right now, Moon Knight. I'm excited for that final episode.
Oh yeah, dude. Same.
Um, and then I think honestly though, there's a lot of good TV shows that are coming out this year that I'm excited for. But I think the one I'm most excited for has to be Kenobi. I just want it to happen already.
Yeah.
And I'm disappointed they're not releasing it on May the 4th.
Yeah, in 2 days.
Yeah. Come on. I guess they don't want to release the finale of Moon Knight on the debut of Kenobi, but like, it's May the 4th be with you. Come on.
I think it's releasing the same day that the original Star Wars came out though.
Oh, no. Really? I'm gonna look that up. May 27th is the release, and New Hope release date was May 25th. So
Almost.
2 days within each other, yeah. I'm just excited to see Ewan McGregor.
As Obi.
Yeah, dude. Oh, it's been too long.
Yeah.
Plus, Hayden Christensen's coming back.
As Vader. I'm so
Yeah,
excited.
dude. Little fucking 12-year-old me is screaming inside. Dude, watching the behind the scenes of those guys practicing for their duels,
Oh, beautiful.
it's so, bro, it makes me wonder what happened with the sequel's choreography. Like, we're not talking about writing, characters, or anything like that.
We're
Like,
not talking
directors,
about
like,
the
like
shit that
we're,
we
we're,
saw.
we're ignoring all that. I'm talking about just choreography alone. Like, if you go from the intense choreography that Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor practice together, and then you go to what is Kylo Ren smacking his chest repeatedly, and then like lunging forward, and then their final, the Kylo's and Rey's fight in this ninth movie is hot garbage.
So I can give you a good like story reason why. Maybe not like actual like film reason why.
Okay, okay. Well,
First of
give me
all,
this take. Give me this take.
In Force Awakens, Rey doesn't know anything.
Yeah,
She's an
it's
absolute
no,
scrub.
it's
So
no surprise
it
that on
makes
her
sense.
end it's
Yeah.
kind of bad. Kylo should
Um
be better than he is, but it makes
no.
sense why she's
No.
struggling.
No. He just throws tantrums and has a broken lightsaber, literally. Like
I
the
mean,
reason why his lightsaber does what it does and sounds like it does is because the kyber crystal is synthetic and it's a piece of poop. And he is technically not even properly trained, even though he was trained by Luke slightly. Like he didn't finish his training, and then the only reason why he was picked up by Snoke was because he was a Skywalker and he was
yeah.
powerful in the Force.
But
But
he
like he
like
was booty with a saber. That's just how it be. It
nah, dude,
sucked.
I don't think that, dude. He was trained. Like, look, did he like complete all of the training with Luke? No, but he was trained by Luke, then trained by Snoke. He
Yeah,
is not. He's not an
but
amateur. He's adept at that point. He should be
no,
better with a lightsaber.
I
He
disagree.
shouldn't. He shouldn't be beat by fucking baby's first fight.
He
Like someone
wasn't.
who's yeah. He literally was beaten by Rey. He lost that fight, dude.
I mean, besides the massive canyon that was split between them, I would
But
disagree.
nah, he kind of got outdone the majority of that fight.
He was also 2v1'd
Hmm.
by
I mean,
by a person who was actually trained to fight.
You could make the argument that he was fatigued because of his fight with Finn. Yeah, you could make that argument.
Yeah, like Finn got good hits on him, which is why another
Yeah.
reason why I hate Finn as a character is because they did nothing with him.
Oh, dude, don't even get me started.
No,
Finn
I'm
is
not gonna. He was the
Finn.
most let down character in all of those movies, and it makes me so mad.
He is actually like, I love Adam Driver, and he's one of my favorite actors to come out of that. But like Boyoga, how do you pronounce the actor who plays Finn's last name?
I don't know.
I know I'm pronouncing it wrong, but Finn, the character, they had so much. They had such a cool backstory too. Like, there was so much they could have done with him, and then they just like relegated him to cheerleader, fake, not even love interest,
Yeah.
not even love interest.
But the reason why I say that he wasn't like a good fighter is because he wasn't. And that's just simply because if you look at the way that Luke fights in the next movie, and even in the old movies, like, they are nowhere even close to Obi and Anakin, simply just because there is no proper combat training anymore.
well, yeah,
There is no academy to be brainwashed as a child to be a Jedi and come out and be like
an assassin.
yeah, like there is no
Like,
school for that. So it's really just like sensitive, like I can swing a saber and kind of predict movements because the Force allows me to, and I'm agile and quick-witted because the Force allows me to. But there's no like training simulators or like, you know, anything that we see in like Jedi Fallen Order. like the video game. Like there's a
Mm-hmm.
whole simulation that you have to run through to progress the story. And like there's like actual Jedi training rooms for children. So like
Well, yeah, like
and
the training that you would get in the
yeah,
Republic,
and like
the Grand Republic comparative to
Ben
Paft.
Ben Solo before he turned Vader or before he turned Kylo, like he didn't have any of that.
I will agree that's why Luke's training with like Luke would, especially not even just like the lack of
Yeah.
resources, but also the fact that he started when he was 17, which is super late comparative to most of the people during the Republic era. Like Anakin at 12 was considered old. And that's 5 more years on him, you know? I think he was 5. It might have been, I mean, 12. It might have been 8. But either way, like that, I agree. But the Ben, I feel like, did he have all the fancy stuff? No, but he was trained from a young age, like way younger than Luke was,
I'm looking that
by
up.
by Luke.
He started training at 10.
Who? Ben?
Ben. Yep.
Yeah, he should be way better than he is.
I
He should be
disagree.
way better than
Nope.
he
Because
is.
he trained from a person who wasn't that good. Like in the movies, Luke versus I'm talking movies. I'm not talking like lore or legends.
Mm-hmm.
In the movies,
Mm-hmm.
Anakin versus Luke, Anakin would have slapped him.
Oh yeah.
In the movies,
There's
Obi versus Luke would have slapped him.
the Anakin versus Luke. There's no doubt, but
Obi
that's also
versus Luke,
because
there's no doubt.
just
Just simply
I disagree.
skill wise, movie based. I'm not talking
Look,
shows or TV shows.
I'm aware choreography makes it
No,
look much better, but
that's
I will say
that's what I'm chalking down to training. I'm talking choreography is training.
but like Luke in episode 6, he what makes Luke such a great fighter in episode 6 is he learned to conquer what Anakin couldn't, and it was his pride and his rashness. He was impatient in the 5th movie and it caused his hand to get cut off. He was much more wise and patient in his fighting, on top of having the pure force power that Anakin had. And Anakin should have beaten Obi-Wan. He should have. If it was his pride is why he lost. So I think Luke could beat Obi. You there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't think Luke is that bad.
Big feels, man.
But I get what you mean though. Like if you're just going off straight choreography, it's much different and it's hard to explain that away.
He just never had proper lightsaber fighting. Like Luke never had training to become a lightsaber killer in the movies.
Yeah.
I'm
Well, even
specifically talking in the movies because I don't know legends and lore like you do.
Yeah. Well, and even all the legends is not canon anymore, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The movies and all the new Disney stuff is what's canon. But yeah. I can yeah.
I just feel like if it's just
you there.
straight like them trying to kill each other with sabers, because I think Luke is way better at like force powers. Yes, in the sense of just like he's a Skywalker, he's super strong. Like it makes sense.
They're force jacked. They got force steroids in their blood.
Yeah, but like I don't know. Every time I think of anybody always fighting Obi, I'm just like, I just feel like the man's just a master in the sense of killing the people he needs to kill.
Yeah. Well, he's definitely one of the best at using. If he plays his game, it's very hard for him to lose. Because his game is just defense and patience. Which is why, like, in the Clone Wars, when he fought Darth Maul, and Darth Maul was taunting him, he was losing that fight
Yeah.
because he started to fight with anger. He started
Oh
to be
yeah.
aggressive. He
Oh
wasn't
yeah.
playing his. He wasn't doing his fight. I don't. I think. I think if it came down to like straight, like even like Count Dooku was just a better duelist than Obi-Wan was. Like every
Mm-hmm.
fight that we see the two of them have, I hate to say it because I love Obi-Wan, but
Oh
Obi-Wan
no,
gets
Dooku would
washed.
slapped him. Yeah.
He gets washed every time. Like it's in the movies, Obi gets done dirty, man. Dooku just like throws him.
Oh yeah.
He just throws him in the third movie, and in the second movie, he's just like, "This is disappointing," and like just cut his arm and leg, and he's like, "Okay, done with you, bye." But also, Dooku was cracked, so
Yeah. Man got snuffed. Kill him.
do it. But yeah, Finn was a letdown. But I digress. We can stop talking about the Star Wars movies now. You know what TV show I wish I would have watched while it was releasing?
Huh.
Game of Thrones.
That was a good one, dude. I watched it every week.
I was only there for like the final season. Like I watched season 1 through 7 before season 8 came out. And
Yeah.
then I was only there for like the live release for season 8.
That's really
Bro,
sad.
yeah. I got to enjoy a cultural letdown.
Yeah, you did. I started watching that show. Let's see. I'm going to look at Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, Game of Thrones, Game of Thrones.
Season's release dates. Season 1 came out in 2011, 2, 12, 3, 13, 4, 14, 5, 15, 6, 16, 17, 17, or 7, 17, 8, 19. I started watching Game of Thrones in season 3.
Oh, wow. So you were there for most of it then?
Yes. Yep. And then,
Dude,
like...
it was such a cultural thing. That's why I wish I could have been there for it.
I didn't start watching weekly until 16.
So 6?
Yeah. I was introduced to it in 2013, and then I watched like the first 3 seasons, and then I graduated in 16, and then I got a job, and then I paid for my own HBO, and I watched from 16 on. And yeah, season 8 was a cultural letdown, my man. It was really sad.
Dude, I could have
kind of made me cry.
I could have been a part of the hype earlier if I wasn't me.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't like I'd never heard of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, how couldn't you?
Like I had multiple people in my friend when I was like probably in 2014 was telling me 2014 2000 like 14, yeah, from 14 on kept trying to get me to watch that show. And every year I'd be like, screw off, dude. I don't want to watch that.
I'm
Overhyped.
too much of a hipster.
Overhyped. And then in 18, it was the start of senior year, and that's when I started watching it all, and I binged it. Yeah, no, my hipsterness is the reason why I cosmically was punished into being only a part of a cultural phenomenon at the very worst part of it.
That's rough.
But I liked I have Game of Thrones season 8 gives me the same feelings that Batman versus Superman does.
Yeah.
There's so much about it that was good, but there's so much more that was so bad that despite the good and despite me wanting to like it, it made it almost like I would rather it just be trash. But like there's good moments in it. Like there's things to hold on to, but because it's overall just so bad, it makes those good moments hurt more. You know what I mean? Like I wanted to like Batman versus Superman. I really wanted to like that movie. And there's some cool parts about it, but overall the movie's just garbage. And in season 8, I wanted to like season 8, and there is some good moments to season 8. There's a lot of good moments. But then there's also just like, why? Why?
Yeah, season 8 was a real letdown. I would say episode 1, 2, and 3 were like, oh my gosh, we're getting
Yeah.
somewhere. And
So
then
good.
4, 5, 6 was just like, wait, it's over? Doesn't each season up to this have 10 episodes? Why are we only getting 6?
Yeah, dude. That whole last season was just so rushed. We
Yep.
needed 9 seasons.
We needed 10 episodes. I think they could have done an 8 season, like the 8th season, and I would have been fine with just it. But if they would have had 10 episodes, I think they could have done it way better.
Well, like, I think it would have been more manageable with 10 episodes. I agree there. I think my big issue is like the two big plot points of the show the whole time is the White Walkers and pretty much Daenerys taking over Westeros. And like who's gonna win the throne in the very end. You know? But like Daenerys is kinda like tied to that. And like now Jon is a Targaryen, and so he can take the throne. And so you had who will be, is it gonna be Jon? Is it gonna be Cersei? Is it gonna be Daenerys? What's gonna happen there? And then you had the White Walkers. And you had these two massive storylines that have been building up for 7 seasons. I don't think 5 episodes is enough to resolve either of them.
6.
And like, could you? No, I'm saying 5 each.
Oh, gotcha.
Like a 10 episode season, 5 for, we'll say,
I get you.
the White Walkers, 5 for the main story. Would it have been better than what we got? Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, because at least then you can do like 4 episodes of the White Walkers, and then 4 episodes of the other plot line, like that of them invading King's Landing, and then 2 episodes of Buffer. Because the issue they ran into is like, oh, we defeated the White Walkers. The next episode felt like they just completely ignored the fact that they almost all died to a zombie army.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they just kind of brushed past it. Like, they had a feast and that was it. You know?
Yay, we won.
They needed a
all
whole...
of the best characters died.
Yeah, they needed a whole episode or 2 to go over it and, like, to really, like, dive into it. And personally, I think they needed, like, a whole season to flush that out, because even the fight felt a little rushed. Like, I would have loved a 2-episode long battle. Like, I think that battle deserves
an entire season.
And I actually thought, this is how I thought it was going to be resolved. I thought they were going to lose up north and have to retreat south.
I mean, that's what they should have done.
And the White Walkers were going to get all the way to King's Landing, and then Cersei and the North were going to have to fight together to defeat them.
Oh, yeah, I would have hated that.
I thought it was...
I would have hated that more than I would have hated the actual show.
Yeah.
For all of them having to be like, oh, let's work together to kill common enemy, and then we'll kill each other. It's like, nah. That's when you all kill each other all at the same time.
Well, I mean, that's kind of what I would expect to happen. I'm not saying they have to work together. I just suspected it where, like, the White Walkers would push them down there. You know what I mean? There's no way Cersei's not going to take an opportunity to stab Daenerys in the back.
Yeah, you're right.
And there's no way Daenerys isn't going to go find Cersei and ignore everything that's going on and murder her. You know what I mean? I just think that, like, a big complaint people had about that season was that Daenerys went evil too, like, out of nowhere, and I just disagree with that.
Incorrect.
I think, yeah, another season of building up a little bit more would have helped, but people act like she went from 0 to 100.
She kind of
I feel like I feel like she went from 60 to 100. I feel like there was so much already building up to her character going insane the whole show, and there was so much foreshadowing that I'm not shocked at, like, did it feel like because of how short that season was that it felt a little rushed? Yeah, but acting like her character never showed signs of going evil or going mad, I just feel like it like there was so much foreshadowing.
Well, yeah, that's because she comes from a lineage that literally goes crazy because they're all inbred.
Yeah.
So of course that there's a chance of her going crazy. Like we all knew that. But the fact that it happened that quickly and she just murks an entire town of people that she's literally been saving her entire life. I won't kill women and I won't kill children. I keep them and I help them.
Mm-hmm.
I only kill the bad guys, and then all of a sudden she's just like, nah, fuck it. You killed my right hand girl. I'm gonna murk your entire city now with my dragons. That's 0 to 100. Because
No,
she's
I.
literally going back on everything that she's built her
Mm-hmm.
kingdom around. Like she went from city to city to city in Essos, saving
Yeah.
people and
Yeah.
freeing slaves. And then she gets over to Westeros, and the first chance she gets, she just literally kills an entire city.
Well,
Like
here's the
that's
thing
zero
though.
to a
Like,
hundred.
no, I. This is why I disagree. Like, could there have been a little bit more in between? Like a little bit more leading up before she just murked a whole city? Yeah, because I feel like that was a little bit of a jump. I will agree
That
with you
I
there.
mean that was
But
the jump of her. That was the line
but let
of
me let,
her losing it.
let me put it this way though. Like she is shown aggressive, over the top behavior in the way she punishes those who she thinks are
Yeah,
wrong.
but she's never
That
thought the
but
innocent has
no.
been that.
Oh no, you're right. You're right. She's had a good moral compass. But the way she used, like, once she defined what she was doing as righteous and okay, she went off. She was uber over the top the way she punished people. That's such a slippery slope to becoming like, oh yeah, I'm gonna justify this action and then murder you. Like she like hung slavers across like a whole walkway and was super grotesque to them, and like burned tons of people that were, yes, terrible people, but also wasn't like she had her hands were already covered in blood, and it wasn't just like her homegirl was dead. Her homegirl was dead. Her lover was in another country. Her like father figure slash kind of like, not lover but like father figure, uncle.
Father figure.
Yeah,
You could leave it at that.
yeah. Bormont, like Jorah, gone. Like I really think that him dying was a huge reason why she like felt so isolated. Because at the end of the season, be when she's like kind of going off the deep end and like looks all ragged, it's because everyone in her life that she trusted, everyone that who helped keep her level headed when she was about to like make a rash decision, was gone. She had no one there that
She had
like,
John.
yeah, but John, she, to be fair, didn't even know John for a full year. Like
It doesn't matter.
they didn't even know each other that long. So like, yes, she had John, but John was the only person she had
And
in
she
a
didn't
land
listen
that
to
she
him.
didn't know, and every other person that she had that were in her circle that helped her make those decisions was all gone at that point. So I think that is like, I don't know. I don't think that's unsurprising behavior based off of the history, that like the way she's acted and the fact that she no longer has anyone around her, and the only person she has is John now, who their relationship honestly is still shaky.
Yeah, I disagree, dude. She built an entire character, and the show built an entire character of her, like, saving people. And, like, yeah, her decisions whenever she did make up her mind, but, like, that's also just queen attitude. Like,
Yeah.
that's just, I have to make the decision and I'm going to stick in my decision, which
Mm-hmm.
means whatever my decision is needs to be solid and I have to be 100% about it or else I look flaky. And she's always been about saving people. Like she got uh what's his name? Jason Momoa's character.
Yeah.
She
Khal
got him
Drogo.
killed because of how much she cared about people. Like, that's what I'm saying. Is like all of the seasons was her saving the humans, like saving the people in captivity. And if anything, everyone in the Red Keep, or like whatever you want to call it, the King's Landing, like they
Yeah.
were all slaves to Cersei, whether they were free to do what they want or not. Like she locked them in there because she knew how crazy Dany was, and she locked all of her people in that town. She did not let them leave.
Mm-hmm.
And then Dany killed all of them because she went fucking crazy in the second to last episode of the show. She does all of that stuff.
I
The second to last episode,
okay.
she
I
murks everybody in that city and
yeah, but like
becomes
her.
the final bad guy.
Okay.
Like, yeah,
I
she loses everybody. I understand and I agree with what
yeah
you're saying. Like, you
yeah
can see the tipping points, but like through the whole show, she's been the character of adversity. Like, she's overcome so
yeah.
much, and then she just falls to it, and it's just like that's bullshit. Like
Yeah,
that is just horrible writing. It
I
was
feel like
really sad.
I definitely feel like they could have given her more time,
Yeah,
like to
like
go
if I would have
crazy.
gotten
I
another
think
season of her being crazy, I'd have loved
well,
it.
that's why I say like they needed a nine seasons because we should have seen the downward trend all of season 8 and then more and then we should have seen the actual tipping point in 9. But also the reason why I'm not uber shocked that that happened, as much as I love Dany as a character, she is a quintessential that ends justify the means type of character. She wanted to be the queen, and that was her number drive. She wanted to be a good queen. She didn't want to be like her father. She didn't want to be a bad ruler like her dad.
But she
But she wanted,
literally did all of
but
the
she,
things that they did.
but she wanted to be a ruler at the end of the day, and she wasn't afraid who got in her way. She was going to be the ruler of Westeros, and she made that like even in season 6 and 7, like in 7, she was willing to just kill John. She was like, "I'll if you get in my way, like I don't what okay,
Yeah,
cool. You're my enemy now."
yeah.
Like that just shows that despite John being a good person, she doesn't care. You get in my way, I'm going to end you whether you're good or bad. Like I feel like that shows that she thinks her ends are so important that she's willing to justify doing bad behavior. And so that's
I
why I'm
would
not
agree to that.
shocked. That's why I'm not shocked that she murked a whole city.
No, that's completely different. She saw John as a threat because he has power. He had power. Like he had an army at his disposal.
Yeah, he was the king of the north.
Yeah, exactly. So like I would threaten to kill that person as well if they got in my way.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I'm trying to conquer an entire land and claim rightful ownership of what is deserved to me, I would murk anybody in my way as well. But to kill innocent people trapped in a town, that's a 0 to 100. Because that type of mentality was only displayed in the 8th season. Because I'll agree with you, she's a very ends justifies the means character. But like it's always with the means of becoming the queen.
Yeah,
I mean, like there, like you're saying, like there was council around there to like steer her in the right direction, and they kill her entire council in that season. In season 8, they kill off her whole council. They made her go from 0 to 100 in one season. Like
okay,
I understand.
I can agree with you there that they did kill off her council really quickly, and so because of that, like that was what they used to write it in.
Like they made her go crazy just so that they could kill her to get a tearjerk reaction from the audience. It was just it's really sad.
I will agree. Like I was fine with her going insane. I just wish they gave her more time to do it. Like just like that's why I wanted a 9th season. Cause
I didn't want her to go crazy, and that's what pissed me off. Is that like I didn't want her to do any of that stuff. I was not okay with that, and that's what made me mad about it. Was
Mm-hmm.
because the entire show she was the protector. Like she walked
Yeah.
out of the burning building and was like, "Oh my gosh, this woman's a freaking goddess. This is so cool." And then season 8 she kills Viserys he because she thinks that he's poisoning her. So she just kills him. And then she gets Tyrion locked up or something like that. Mormont dies in the battle. She doesn't really trust Jon because once again, it's Jon. And then all of a sudden, she's standing there all by her lonesome after Cersei kills her right hand lady, and it's like,
And the dragons, which are her babies, two of them are dead now.
yeah, like she went through so much stuff, and it makes sense to why she goes crazy, but it's just like the entire show she was just like the person who needed to conquer because it was her right, and like she was the, yeah, go get her kind of
Mm-hmm.
thing, and it made me so mad. Like I got so pissed when she killed everybody in that town, and then John had to end up killing her. Like John ended up killing her.
I thought she was going to kill Jon. I did. I didn't think Jon was going to kill her. I thought she was going to kill Jon.
Yeah,
I I love Dany's character. I really do. And obviously I didn't want her to be evil, but I was
yeah,
okay if she went crazy, especially cuz it's like out of all the characters who are like Jon will get his hands dirty if he needs to, but he goes out of his way not to have to do that whatsoever. It never felt like Dany went out of her way not to spill blood. If Dany thought she needed to kill some fools, she would murk you without hesitation. And there was several times that she would act in pure emotion and anger, and it took literally the people she'd been traveling with for years who have seen her go from nothing to everything, talking her down for days to get her not to make certain decisions that were uber rash.
she's also a child.
Yeah, and that's kind of why like I can understand the point of view of thinking it like completely ruined her character, and I definitely agree that going that quickly was kind of I think they needed more time to develop it, like either start that in 7 or let there be a 9 so then you can develop it
I
for a
mean,
full more season. But like the idea that she's never shown glimpses of that behavior, I just don't think is I feel like they have shown that. I feel like
yeah,
they
and
did
I'll agree
show
with that.
I did they showed those glimpses of that behavior
Yeah,
throughout the show.
and I will agree with murder like tendencies being shown, but it was always to the people who deserved it.
Mhm.
Like it was always to the slave masters, and it was always like to the people in like where she has like her own pyramid and stuff like that. I think that's the
Yeah.
same season. Like she always killed the people who had it coming to them. Like all of those people in King's Landing had nothing coming to them because they just wanted to live.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I don't think like she's never just
Yeah,
massively killed
yeah,
innocents like that. I just feel like her character is based off of a self-righteous conqueror, which the two can't exist. I don't agree. Like you can't self-righteously conquer someone. You can't be the good guy and conquer someone. I just don't think that is I feel like those are two contradicting things, and that's why I found Danny's character so appealing. Is because it's like, what's gonna give? Is her want to be the queen gonna give over her want to do right, or is her want to conquer and be the queen going to overtake her her righteous morals? And because I mean, like, look at it. Like the other end spectrum of it is like John, who's probably one of the only other characters who's done more good than she has at points, where he's been more self righteous than she has. Didn't want to be king. Didn't want to lead. was really forced into those situations, and at every time that he had an opportunity to get more power, he did not seize it. Where, to be honest, like, I get the story, but like Daenerys's whole "I will be queen because I was born into it," it's like, well, yeah, but also your family wasn't born there. Your family traveled there and murdered everyone to take that. So like, how much right to that throne do you really have? And so like her whole quest to conquer, I feel like it was, she did it in such a good way, but it was seated in evil. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I kind of thought like those two were gonna come at a crossroad, and I feel like they could have told that story better if they given her more time.
Yeah, even if they only had 10 episodes and she, like, because she went crazy
And
episode
like
5.
she went crazy in 3 episodes. Yeah, like two
Yeah,
episodes.
yeah. And, like, she killed everybody in that town in episode 5. Like, that's when it happened,
Mm-hmm.
which is the second to last episode. And if there would
Yep.
have been 5 more episodes after that of her being the bad guy for 5 episodes, an hour each episode, hour and a half each episode, I would have been fine with that. I
Yeah.
just hate that she became a bad guy and then got killed almost
Okay.
instantly.
I agree with that. I agree with
Because
that.
not
I
only did I
hated that.
not want her to be the bad guy, I hated the thought of her becoming the bad guy. But then when she was, she just got killed so quickly. It was like, well, that's just boring.
She wasn't even a good bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I
Well,
agree with you there.
she was a great bad guy because she fucking murked a whole town.
Well, but, you know, story writing. Like,
Yeah, story
Cer-
writing. It's just like
you love to hate
made
Cersei because
the
Cersei
most.
was a villain for so long.
Yeah, and like you made the most beloved character turn in to the most "what the fuck did you just make her do" character, and then stab her in the chest for it.
Oh yeah,
Sick.
I definitely
Good
think
writing.
she needed. I think it's just the time that they let it happen. Like, I agree with you. I think if she had, I don't think the fact that they turned her evil was bad. I just think the amount of time that they had her be evil was the issue.
It's
Like,
so unnecessary. Just
well,
don't
that's
make her evil then,
like
and
that's
just
why.
end the show.
Well, it's why I thought they needed an extra season to
Yeah.
really flush out that story, because I feel like they were laying the groundwork for it the whole show. I do. Now knowing what their plan was in the end, I feel like they were laying the groundwork, and she is one of my favorite characters. And so I I just like, I feel like they were laying the groundwork for it. I didn't see it coming, but then afterwards, when I thought about it critically, I was like, oh yeah, no, they were laying the groundwork for this the whole time. I think the issue was like George. I don't know if you knew this, but George R. R. Martin, when he started the show, wanted 10 seasons,
Yeah.
and the showrunners said no. We want 7 seasons, and George said, "You can't tell my show in 7 seasons. You can't tell my story in 7 seasons. I need 10." And they argued about it for a long time, and how they came to an agreement was 8 seasons, and I just don't think
It's so rude.
it. And it's like, okay, if you're gonna do 8 seasons, at least do 8 seasons, a full season 8, you know. And then, like, honestly,
And he didn't even have any creative insight into the last season either.
I really, are you sure?
I'm pretty positive. I'm pretty
I,
sure that whole last season was just the writers of Game of Thrones writing their own story.
well, I know, because I watched a lot of stuff building up to it, and it was like he had told them what his ending was and what he was, the general gist of how he wanted it to end. And then, like, the details of it, like the exact details of little nitty gritty details and dialogue and stuff, was going to be up to the showrunners, but the writers, but the overall ending was going to be pretty much the same. So that's kind of why I think that he had some involvement, like to the degree of like, oh, Danny is bad, Danny dies, they end up making democracy.
Yeah.
I think that is George's overall vision. But I think George would have had 2 more seasons after this of Danny being bad, or Danny devolving into it, you know? I also just feel like the White Walkers deserved more than 4 episodes, dude.
Yeah, it's the biggest letdown ever.
Dude,
I hate the 8th season. I think it's just shit, dude.
the White Walkers were so big to that show for so long. Like, fuck, dude. Who cares about who wins the throne in fucking King's Landing? Every other person who was important in the show is dead by now. Like, the only thing that matters at this point is the White Walkers, in my opinion. And they just kind of, like, brushed past it. Thank you, viewers, for listening to us slowly break down a show that we both love and then talk about why we hate the final season. Dude, that season makes me so sad.
Yeah, I try not to think about it.
Yeah. This is the same way I like the same feelings I have about the sequel movies. Because there's a lot of potential in the sequel Star Wars movies. And I just can't think about it too much, or I get really upset. Okay, well, thank you for listening to the Note Podcast. That has been this week's episode. We appreciate you stopping by. You got anything else you want to say at the end?
Nope.
Please give us a like and a follow. Subscribe on YouTube. Follow us at The Noted Podcast. Follow on Spotify. Follow us at A Noted Podcast on Twitter. And subscribe at The Noted Podcast on YouTube. That has been noted.
Hey.